What's up, y'all? Today I'm going to show you how to install running boards on a 2020-21 Toyota Highlander. Some questions about if this requires two people or if it can be done with one person. Does the car need to get jacked up or not? I'm going to show you how I'm doing it with one person. Personally, I'm a 5'7", 170 pounds, and you do not need to jack the car up. You just have to have the right tools, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So as you can see, running boards set right here. This is Toyota factory. It's easily labeled right here where it says Highlander RH. That means it's on the right hand side, and the other running board will say LH, which is on the left hand side. So all the tools that you'll need here. I have my laptop because I downloaded the Toyota installation instructions. If you printed it out, that's on you, but I just have this here so that I can look at the instructions as I need to. So it's not mandatory, but it's part of the instructions. Got a torque wrench here, and we got a 10mm socket. You're going to need a 6-inch extension, Phillips screwdriver, and body panel tool, and some variation of a Rivnut installation tool right here. This is got for 50 bucks, but there's definitely cheaper options out there. And I also got some of this 3M auto body sealant, all the screws and that's provided in the boxes there for you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So if you don't want to get dirty, just use the factory box that the running boards came in. And first step is you're going to need your Phillips screwdriver, and there's going to be 2 screws. You're going to remove one right here, and then one right down over here. Once you take these off, then move to the next step. All right, so once you got those 2 screws out, you got to keep one of those for later for reinstallation, but the other one you can toss. Now you're going to use your this thing, and there's going to be 2 push pins in the front down here that you're going to remove, and then there's going to be one in the rear of the vehicle. So it's a pretty simple process. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. Let's see. All right, pop it like that, and then it should just pop right out. So there's going to be 3 of these that you'll need to take out. Alright, so once you pop out these 3 bad boys, you can use your 10mm socket, and at the rear of the vehicle there's going to be a bolt down here that you want to take out. Once you get this bolt out, you're going to pry this down, and you're going to pop out 6 moldings. I think that's what they're called. There's going to be 6 moldings down here. Then that'll allow you to be able to pull this cladding down and then remove it from the vehicle. To give you a better idea what it looks like, see that bolt right down there? That's the bolt you'll want to remove. And remember, once you remove this bolt, keep it in a safe place because you're going to need this to reinstall once you actually put the running board on. All right, once that back bolt is removed, now we can go ahead and pop out these 6 molding retainers. Just give it a little bit of elbow grease and pop them out, and you should hear like a pop like this, like that. So there's going to be 6 of these that's going to pop out, and just go ahead and remove the rest of them just like that. So yeah, take this off, and we'll move on to the next step. Come on around the other end here. Doing this with one hand, y'all. Okay. There we go. Got it off. Now, you have to take one of these, make sure that they're in good condition, because you're going to put one of these at the front end of the running board. Let's take this one off. Yep, Looks like it's in good condition. So I'll take this bad boy and bring it over here. Here's the running board right in the front. You'll take this and you'll pop that in there. And everything else you can go ahead and discard. All right, next step is once you get the sheet metal exposed on the bottom, you're gonna see this little plastic clip in here. Just use your body rocker panel removal and just pop that bad boy out. Then you're gonna go ahead and take this that came with the parts. I think this is called the M6 Wakai nut. You're going to insert this into here, bend the clip down, and then once it's in there, get some tape. I got a piece of tape right here that you're going to use to adhere it, so that way it's temporarily fixed to the sheet metal until you can actually put on the running boards and then put the screw in there so it tightens in. So it'll look something like this. Stick it in, right, and start to make sure you get that bend. You got to make sure that that little screw insert in there is visible and aligned, so that way when you do put the actual bolt in, you'll be good to go. It's hard to do with one hand, but I'll show you what it looks like after I tape it on. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. I'm just using regular clear tape because I don't have masking tape or that blue tape that the instructions asked for. But I don't know, this seems to work for me. Then next, you're going to go and locate these bad boys. There should be 2 of them on one side. You'll go ahead and screw these plastic things on it. I don't know what they're called, but make sure that the indented side is on the inside and the smooth side is on the top. So once you got these 2 screwed on, there's going to be some holes on the bottom, and just refer to your installation instructions on which particular holes you're going to put those through, and I'll show you what it looks like once they're installed. Empty hole, this is where you want to put it in. I just do the same thing at the rear end. All right, so I found out in the instructions that those 2 things are called flag bolts. So this is how they would look once you put those 2 in. One at the rear and then one at the front with the hole right there as your guide. All right, next step is to remove any excess, whatever this is called, sealant, so that way there's enough clearance for the running board when you install it. Instructions say that this hole here needs to have a good 2 inches diameter where it's clear of any sealant, and then whatever sealant that you do remove, that's where you're going to use your auto body sealant to be able to seal in those areas. I'll show you what it looks like once I'm done. So here's what it looks like with it removed. I'm not exactly sure if this step is necessary, but this is just what I'm doing. If you've done this before, let me know why you think they put this in the instructions, and if I'm doing this wrong, you can put your suggestions in the comment. But yeah, just use some of this, cake it on. This is tough with one hand, so let me just do it after. All right, so that's how my version looks like once you put that auto body sealant on. Gives it a little bit more clearance. That way it also makes sure that water, rain doesn't seep into the 2 welded panels down there. Once you're finished with this step, this is where you're going to actually install 8 M6 Rivnuts. So this is where you're going to need some sort of tool like this. I got this for like 40 bucks on Amazon, but I know there's cheaper tools that are more simplistic that you can get for like 10 bucks. But basically you'll get this, and let me see if I can show you here. You'll open it up like so. You take this Rivnut and you'll screw it on. Make sure the bottom part. There we go. Essentially what you're doing is you're going to crimp this Rivnut into, there's going to be 6 holes along this top part here, and then there's going to be 2 holes on the bottom that you're going to install these Rivnuts. So what it would look like is just stick it in like this. If you can see that, stick it in there like that. Once you get it in there, then you use a little elbow grease and you squeeze them together, and you just repeat this 8 times until these are in. Yeah, make sure it's centered when you squeeze. Good. Once you're done, twist. Then you have that firmly in place in there. Alright, so this is what those Rivnuts are going to look like once they're installed. You got one at the top, one at the bottom. That's the 3rd one. That's the 4th one, and then there's 4 more in the rear of the vehicle. And then you'll see on the bottom you'll have 4 holes, right? Those holes, you're going to use the supplied stickers that they gave you to cover up those holes. So it'll look something like this. Alright, let's cover that up like that, and then we'll move on to the next. Alright gang, so we're almost done here. It's time to actually put on the running board. So how we're going to install this is we're going to fit the rear in first, and once we tuck that in past that black fender wall there, we'll go ahead and clamp. There's that clip that we stuck into the front of the running board earlier, remember that? We'll stick that in, and once we have that just fit in there, we'll use the supplied bolts that they gave us. There's going to be 7 of these, and we're going to put this right in the middle so that way we can secure it in place, and then just work through putting in these 7 bolts so that way it's fixed to the vehicle. Here's what it's going to look like. I'm going to pan back so that way y'all can see it here.
searching for my regain potion.
All right, y'all. So by this point, I just put on the 7 bolts at the top there. There's 3 back here, and then the 4 right in the front. I've already torqued them down to 62 inch per pound. I guess that was the recommendation from the instructions. And basically, we're almost done here. It's looking pretty good so far. This is what's left for us to install. These 2 bolts just go at the bottom where those flag nuts we installed were, and then these 2 also go at the bottom of the running boards as well. And then these little caps are going to be used to cover those. And then there's 2 screws that we're going to reinstall from the original when we took them out. So there's going to be a screw. Remember that one screw we took out with the Phillips? That screw is going to go in here. And then that one screw that we took out at the bottom, we're just going to reinstall this right underneath. And that's going to be a wrap. I'll show you what the finished product looks like. All right, all the screws are put on. So the finishing touches are these caps. I just got 2 left to put on. They're conveniently marked on the back. Tells you which side is up. All right. Bam. And the last one. Bam. There you have it. Running board successfully installed. This is my 2021 Toyota Highlander Platinum. All right, and just in case you're curious what the actual part number for the Toyota Highlander running boards for the 2020 and 2021 model, it is PT 938. This is the important part, dash 48200. You have to make sure you also emphasize those last 5 digits, because what happened to me is when I ordered these running boards from the dealer, they sent me a part PT 938, but it was for a 4Runner. And I didn't realize that until I opened the box up, and then I was like, these don't look familiar. So they were able to exchange it. And just to give you an idea what I paid for these, the technique I used is, if you haven't bought your car yet, I really would advise checking into the Costco Auto program. Now, one thing to know about the Costco Auto program is they're not the ones negotiating the discount, but the dealer does have a set price that, if you go in there, there's no haggle. But just keep in mind that whatever that price is, you can always walk away and even still negotiate and say what your asking price is. But the reason I'm bringing this up is, if you do buy a Highlander or any kind of car, I leverage the Costco Auto discount, where once you purchase the car, they'll give you a coupon for like 30 or 40% off service or product. And so I decided not to have them install it. And so the price they charged me normally would be $500 out the door, right? For the part itself without labor. But with the Costco discount, they knocked off $200. And so my ending price was $328.90. So that's how I was also able to save. You can see right there, they wrote this note, gave out wrong part, so I had to go back and exchange it. And so, yeah, there you have it, y'all. Hopefully this tutorial helps any of those weekend warriors that might feel a little bit scared about installing it on your own. But I'm here to tell you, you can do it. You don't need to jack the car up, and you can do it with just one person. So good luck to y'all. You have any questions, you know, put it in the comments. Take care. Peace.